see how he does coming out of halftime. 12 minutes up on the clock, 2 men deep for Berthoud. One of those, Corey Ellis. Frick approaches the ball. He kicks it high, end over end. And this is a good kick. A touchback there. So Frick will get his third touchback on the season on his first kick of this game. And it will be Spartan ball at the 20. 12 minutes still remains here in the third quarter.
It's good for the defense to have Berthoud held down at their own 20-yard line. Limits a little bit of what kind of plays they can run because you want to take fewer risks in your own, deep in your own territory.
The weather is starting to cool down a little bit as we see a pitch play here for Berthoud in a big hole this time. And a eluded tackle by Friedel, and he's got a lot of room in front of him. He comes to the near sideline. He'll eventually be brought down by Armando Lopez, but not after gaining a huge chunk of yards. They'll be into Fort Morgan territory. They'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line of Fort Morgan territory. So call it a gain of 65, and it's a 1st and 10.
Yeah, Fort Morgan seemed to dive inside there, and the end didn't hold contain, and Rubio got around. Nice run.
Credit Woodiel with a great effort to avoid some of the tacklers for Fort Morgan, and now we see a threat right away here in the second half by Berthoud. Rubisam in the pistol formation. He'll get the snap, take the handoff, go through the middle of the line, and be tripped up. As he dives through the middle of the line, gets a considerable gain. It'll be a 2nd and 4.
Yeah, that time he went through all the fakes, saw the other running backs, and then just headed up the field on his own.
Again, the same formation for Berthoud, as it'll be the quarterback keeper. Rubisam will gain about a yard, and we'll see a 3rd and short.
You know, watching some of the film of Berthoud in some of the earlier games, I saw Rubisam run quite a few times, and I was surprised first half that he only had the 2 carries and that he didn't have very much success.
Well, I think Berthoud really tried to establish the passing game early, and they were doing a good job of mixing up run plays with pass plays, trying to remain unpredictable. But so far here in this second half, 3 run plays, and Berthoud is faced with a 3rd and short after a big gain by Woodiel on the first play from scrimmage. Rubisam will send a man in motion. That's Ellis. He will turn and hand the ball to Woodiel, who comes off his near side. He's met by Miranda hard through the middle of the line, driven backwards, and it'll be a 4th down play. We'll see what Dan McGinn of Berthoud will do here. His kicker can kick a field goal from this range. I saw it in warm-ups, but we'll see. Dan McGinn is electing to go for it and try and send a message here in this second half.
Yeah, Miranda had a great hit. You could hear the pop all the way over here in the stands. See, another 4th and 1, another play where Fort Morgan can make a huge stop and change the momentum like they did in the first half.
Already an early test here in the second half as Fort Morgan is looking to stall this drive out for Berthoud. Rubisam turns, hands to Woodiel, and I don't think he's got enough. He will be driven backwards, and Berthoud will turn the ball over on downs. So Fort Morgan's defense holds.
What a huge play for Fort Morgan. Now if the offense can pick up that enthusiasm, march down the 65 yards, and score a touchdown.
So the big run by Woodiel goes for naught as Berthoud can't convert after picking up those yards, and Fort Morgan will take over. The ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line of Fort Morgan territory. 9:29 on the clock. We're still scoreless here at Max Marfield. Martin's under center. 1 man, 2 men spread, 1 each direction, 2 men in the backfield. They'll fake the give. Bohm, I don't think, knew that he was going to get that football. And Martins, with the play breaking down, just has to keep it himself, and he will lose some yards on that, and it'll bring up a 2nd and long.
It wasn't what you needed a first play of scrimmage on offense for the Mustangs. Now they're almost in a must-pass situation. Berthoud's going to pin their ears back and be coming for him.
Well, Bohm really just looked like he wasn't supposed to get the ball there at all, just like he was supposed to run a fake, and Martins looked like he wanted to hand it to him. But Bohm didn't put his arms out to receive it, so Martins does the wise thing and keeps the ball himself. He'll take that loss and live to see another down. Again, another little broken play. Martins keeps the ball himself again as he goes through the middle of the line. It looked like the deep man for Fort Morgan, Alexander, didn't go the right direction. Alexander gets back just beyond the initial line of scrimmage, and he'll be faced with a 3rd and 9 here.
Yeah, Fort Morgan offense not doing what Coach Chisholm probably talked to them about doing in the half, and that's establishing some positives. They don't get a first down here. Fort Morgan's defense back out after 3.
Martins under center. Pineda spread this near side. Miranda in as a blocking back. Alexander. Martins turns and fires to this near side. Pineda's got it. He'll be ushered out of bounds, but he will pick up the first down. So we see Martins with his first completion of the game, and it's good for the first down.
It's just what Fort Morgan needed was a nice positive play to keep the defense off and play the field position game.
Call that a pickup of about 14 or 15. Again, hard to tell where the ball's being spotted here from where we are located. Miranda in the backfield with Alexander dotting the I. 2 men spread, one each direction. Miranda will get the give this time. No, Martins keeps it, pitches to the option for Alexander, who goes off the far side. He'll be brought down after he gets a big gain, and it'll be 2nd and short. So Fort Morgan's offense starting to find a rhythm here early on in the second half.
Well, that one completion is going to get Berthoud off balance here, as they don't know, are they going to continue with the successful passing game? Are they going to run wide? Is Martins just going to take it up the field? So, good mixing.
See the 5th play here for Fort Morgan in the second half. Martins will keep it himself like he's been known to do in these short yardage plays. Looks like he has enough for the first down. That was a 2nd and 3, and I think he picked up 3.5 or 4. And he'll have the 1st and 10.
That is just huge for Fort Morgan to get this momentum going. They can just maintain this, play some mistake-free football, and get down there and get some points on the board.
And honestly, if Martins doesn't just lower his shoulders and go, he had a little bit of room through the middle of the line. We'll see the quick give to Miranda this time. He'll be stopped for a short gain.
And that patience on Fort Morgan there, mixing it up, got to keep them on their toes and keep them honest in the middle, and then break it to the outside.
2nd and 9 now as Fort Morgan breaks the huddle. 6:50 on the clock. We are still scoreless here in the second half, the third quarter. Martins under center, 2 men in the backfield. One of them Miranda. Alexander, I believe, dotting the I. No, it's Fitzsimmons. Martins will keep it himself on the option carry, turn through the middle of the line, and he will get some more yards. And it'll bring it to a 3rd and manageable.
I think the offensive coordinator for the Mustangs is doing a good job of mixing it up. 3rd and 5 is very manageable, but yet still a big play.
After the 4-yard gain for Martins there, and Martins last week didn't have a great week rushing the football as we've seen out of him in the previous 3 contests. He had 6 carries, but they only went for 5 yards as he was under duress for most of that game from the Roosevelt defense. Here a little bit better. Martins will keep the ball himself, go off the near side where he'll be met by a bunch of tacklers for Berthoud. The main one in there, Rubisam, double duty, quarterback and linebacker. Not something you see all that often. You see it a lot in high school sports, but where the rosters get a little bigger at these schools, you don't see that too often as teams will try to protect their quarterbacks, but Rubisam is one to put his nose in there and make a tackle.
You're right that at this level you start to wanting to platoon your players and not playing both ways. But I was watching a 5A game on TV last night. Mullen, kid scores 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, and 1 is on an interception. So he's playing both ways, even at 5A number 1 team or a former number 1 team.
Got to get your playmakers on the field. With 4th down play here for Fort Morgan, and Fitzsimmons gets the handoff. He goes off the right side, and he might have gotten enough for the first down.
Yep.
We'll hear the far side cheering for Fort Morgan, the visiting stands. They are cheering, so that is good for the first down. So a big fourth down pickup right there for Fort Morgan, and the drive continues.
Yeah, Fort Morgan needed 5. It looks like he got about 7 yards on that. Of course, we're in 4-down territory. Fort Morgan doesn't have a field goal kicking team, and you're not going to punt when you're down to the 30-yard line because you're not going to gain that much from it.
So the ball will be spotted right at the 30-yard line here for Fort Morgan. They're in Berthoud territory. The clock continuing to move. 4:51 here in the third quarter. Still scoreless. Martin's under center. He's looking to pass this time. He's got a man on the left side. A good job by Fitzsimmons, the intended receiver that time, to knock it down. But if Martin's pass is accurate, that's a big gainer, as I think the safety had vacated the middle of the field for Berthoud. And on the post route that Fitzsimmons was running, he had a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, Martin's had to throw the ball over a leaping defender from Berthoud that time. But I like that play. You run a couple times, and then you look for that quick in.
Pineda spread to the near side, Fitzsimmons to the far side. 2 men in the backfield for Martins in the I formation. The D-man will get the give. I believe Jared Bohm on the carry. It is Jared Bohm on the carry that time. Doesn't pick up much as he tries to go through the right side of the line, and we will see a 3rd and long here for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, big 3rd down and 9. But again, they're in 4-down territory. They don't have to get it all on this one play if they can just get it manageable to where they feel comfortable on 4th down, having choices of passing or running.
So a good drive already here by Fort Morgan as they took the ball over with 9:29 in the third quarter. They're about to run their 12th play on their first drive of the second half. Martin's again under center. 2 men. As Bohm dots the eye, Martin's looking to pass this time. He is under duress, and he'll be brought down for the loss. Martin's really didn't have any options down the field. A good job, a secondary sack that you like to hear is the defensive backs had the receivers covered, and that allows the defensive front to get in there and get the sack.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they sent a linebacker off the right side there. I don't know what play you call when it's 4th and 15.
So after the loss, the long 4th down play, we'll see Martin's under center and 3 men spread to the far side, 1 to the near side. Martin's looking to pass. Steps up in the pocket, has a man open downfield. The pass is complete. Alexander makes the catch on the crossing route on the middle of the field, and that looks like it'll be enough for the first down. It will be. And so another 4th down pickup to keep this drive alive. After the 4th and 14 play, Martins finds Alexander, and the drive continues.
Yeah, he just ran a post play there, ran down about 10 yards and cut across the middle on a slant, and the ball was right there for him.
Martins did a good job of filling out where the pocket was and stepping up into it and throwing the football. This give is to Alexander, who bounces off of a few tackles, goes to the near side. He was hit initially right at the line of scrimmage and just kept his head down and kept his feet moving, picked up more yards. And it's going to be a 2nd and short here now as the Mustangs can get a first down before they get the touchdown. Looks like the ball will be spotted inside the 10-yard line. 2nd and 4.
Finally, Fort Morgan's offense is playing with some passion. Looks like they're having fun out there, and fun breeds success, and success breeds fun.
The 15th play of the drive coming up. Already 7 minutes eaten up here in the third quarter by Fort Morgan on this drive. Alexander gets the give. He goes off the left side. He'll be met there by a few tacklers for Berthoud, but I think he's got enough for the first down. No, we'll see what the officials indicate. Could be just short, and it'll be a 3rd down and short for the first down. And just a few yards more for the touchdown.
You'd like to get that first down and goal inside the 5, but why not have one more play and maybe make it first goal from the 2.
A minute 29 showing on the clock here in the third quarter of 3rd and 1 for the first down to reset it. Looks like the ball is inside the 5-yard line here for Fort Morgan. Martins keeps it himself, dives over, and I believe he's got enough for the first down. The officials blowing the clock dead. Usually a good indication of the first down. The man in the white hat points. It is a first down, and the drive continues.
Yeah, they needed 2 yards on that, and that quarterback sneak got them 3. An excellent call. A very dependable play for Fort Morgan so far this season.
This, by far, the most impressive drive of the season in terms of plays and amount of time taken up for Fort Morgan. As Martins will turn, keep it himself, and he will gallop into the end zone for the touchdown. The Mustangs strike first here at Maxmar Field. 6-0 Mustangs, 56 seconds showing on the clock in the third quarter. Martins keeps it himself, and the Mustangs lead.
You can kind of feel a little bit of the air going out of the homecoming crowd here. They came to watch their Spartans win a game, and here it is 0-0 until under a minute left of the third quarter, and Fort Morgan scores the first points.
Frick will put this one up, and it is good. That was an impressive kick right there by Frick, as he got underneath that ball a lot. And so Fort Morgan will take a 7-0 lead. We'll step aside. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Mustang Football brought to you by Central Auto Parts. For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts at West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. James Martins caps off a 72-yard drive that took a little under 9 minutes to complete, as the Mustangs lead 7-0 now. Frick tees up the ball at the 40, again gets off a very good kick, and it will be fielded just outside of the end zone. We'll see a return here by Berthoud, and the return man will be brought down. Gregory Hutchins on the return. I think he did a good job of making sure that he didn't go into the end zone to force the touchback.
Again, field position in Fort Morgan's favor. They pinned him down on that kickoff return inside the 20-yard line. Berthoud, we'll see how they respond to little adversity and see whether they can come back and mount a over 80-yard drive.
So with 48 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter, after Fort Morgan eats up most of the time in the third, on their first possession of the second half, Berthoud will get to work here for their second possession, down 7-0. The give goes to, it looks like Chase Frazier might have come back into the game, as Rubisam handed the ball off, and I believe that was Frazier.
That's good news for Berthoud, because they seem to not have much momentum when he was out. Now if he's back in, that will help them offensively.
You know, I take that back. I don't see him out there on the field. It could have been Corey Ellis on that carry. Either way, it goes for 9 yards, and it brings up a 2nd and 1. Again, Rubisam under center will check that in that shotgun, will turn and hand it off to his man in the backfield, and he will get swarmed under immediately by a pair of Fort Morgan tacklers. Looks like that'll go for a loss. So from 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and a little bit longer of a 1.
Right, Woody will try to get the ball outside, and Fort Morgan contained the left run that time.
They will call it a 3rd and 2 here at the stadium, and I will follow suit, call it a 3rd and 2 as well, as it looks like the Spartans will be content with letting the clock run out here on this third quarter, and that is exactly what will happen. So we will see the fourth quarter when we come back. The Mustangs are ahead 7-0 here in the fourth quarter when we return here at Maxmar Field in Berthoud. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com.